Let's check it out, shall we? I realized I was a jellyfish. That's a first. I spent the past 70 years simply drifting through life with no heading in particular, blindly stinging everyone I encountered. Can you see it too? The people I tried to embrace, I only ended up hurting. Everywhere I went, I left nothing but ruin. So that's it. That's what I am, a jellyfish floating across the sea. I don't even remember why I once became a police detective. Look over there at that family, weeping for their lost child. Have I ever done anything to wipe away the tears? A police station is a crucible of pain and grief. So why did I choose to enter that institution? Why did I think I could somehow offer people solace and hope? Maybe I was simply being selfish. Maybe I became a detective just so I could belong somewhere. Ugh, I should stop now. I should stop wandering with nothing but regret on my lips. That's it then. The first good thing I'll ever have done for anyone. Everyone, I'm sorry for everything. I drift away. Madam! Oh god, we're doing up here again. Ms. Gion. I don't know how to pronounce that. Who are you? Remember that little girl, Choi Seo-won. Choi Seo-won. Seo-won. The girl who went missing. That's right, ma'am. Do you know what happened to that girl you brought back? Thanks to you, her family found peace. Do their lives look ruined to you? The doctor says my mind is like an old library without an index. I'm sorry, but I have no idea who you are. I see you're in uniform, so you couldn't be Seo-won's ghost. From the way you bring up my forgotten failure, I can only assume you're here to deliver judgment. Ma'am, I'm not here to judge you. I only want to tell you about the life you lived. Your Honor, you already know what happened. I never brought Seo-won home. The case ended the way her father Choi Dong-jeon wanted. She disappeared forever, completely out of her mother's reach. Leave the case unsolved. We can't do that, sir. Oh? You mean you've already filed a missing persons case? Seo-won's officially registered as a missing person then please, that's good enough, detective. I'm begging you, please don't look for my daughter anymore. Stop asking where she is. Keep her completely out of her mother's reach. Let her just live life somewhere. Just say that she went out to the playground like she always did and vanished. That's all. A perfect crime with no witness, no suspects. So please, please leave this case unsolved. I'll do anything, please. I beg of you. So that's how you remember it. This was the last case I took before I resigned from the missing persons team. See how relieved I looked after what Choi Dong-jeon said. That man knew. If we wanted to close the case and move on, we needed a good excuse. That my refusal was only customary, a front to cover up my cowardice. Ma'am, history is that certainty produced at the point where the imperfections of memory meet the inadequacies of documentation. What do you mean? It means you just don't get it. Can you remember the beginning and the end of the case? Let me help you weave together the threads connecting the start to the finish. I think Seo-won's mother called me to report the girl missing. Yes, I remember now. She said Seo-won disappeared from the playground. Calm down, ma'am. Who am I speaking to again? Detective Gion. Yes, do you remember me? You came to check on C1 the other day. I asked you not to ring the doorbell. Please tell me you remember. Detective, I'm scared. Please hurry. She's gone. C1 is gone. She was just at the playground. When did you last see her at the playground? Exactly 3:33 in the afternoon. Detective, she disappeared 3 hours ago. We've looked everywhere. A 7-year-old girl could have gone alone. What do we do now? I'm trying not to panic, but the worst is all that comes to mind. You're turning yourself in? Yes, I would like to surrender to the police. I am responsible. A little girl went missing from the playground, didn't she? 3 days ago. She was with me. I took her away. I'm sorry, it's all my fault. I did it because I needed the money. I'm sorry. What do you mean it's all your responsibility? Detective, the truth is, she's dead. C1 is dead. She's been dead all this time. Your Honor, that's all I remember about the case. Now I understand why you've come to me, here at the final crossroads, why you want me to remember the beginning and the end. You are the gatekeeper of time and space. I had put it completely out of my mind. Was I trying to forget those memories because I felt guilty? The man who took her turned himself in, but I pretended it never happened. And the girl, she was already dead, but I pretended not to know. I'm sorry. Someone like me doesn't deserve peace. Ma'am, it's alright, don't be afraid. I don't care what you want to call me, but you have to know that this isn't the end of the road. You are not bound for hell or purgatory. Now think back, C1 disappeared from the playground, right? Try to recall everything you can about the location. I can see more fragments now. I see them, but they're so faint, like scars faded with age. No, you're doing great. Once you've brought up the fragments, try connecting them together. Build a chain of recollections. Even a dried out ravine can be a river again when the water returns. Okay, C1 is gone. She was just at the playground. So wait, I have to like pick something now, huh? It's alright. Again, was there anything unusual about C1's activities? You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but try to think about it, okay? Do you see any suspicious individuals when you went to pick up C1 or anything out of the ordinary? It's exactly as my daughter said. I was so sure C1 would be at the playground, but when I got there I didn't see her, so I assumed my daughter took her along. Then my daughter came downstairs and looked at me with her eyes wide, and I thought, oh no. Detective, I think you might be making a mountain out of a molehill. I don't know if my daughter told you, but C1 goes alone to places all the time. My daughter worries easily, but mark my words, the girl always wanders back in time for dinner. Please don't worry about it. I'll have a stern word with my daughter. Honestly, I can't believe she's gone and called you. A little girl went missing from the playground, didn't she, 3 days ago? Well, it's alright. Again, was there anything unusual? No, it was all business as usual. She goes to kindergarten on weekdays and we go to the playground on weekends as a family. We have 2 playgrounds in the condo complex. Normally we alternate between them. I go along sometimes, but one of them isn't wheelchair accessible, so Hye-jong has to take the kids on her own. Wait, recently they've only been going to that playground. Hye-jong said the kids asked to go there today too. If only they would gone but they'd gone to the other playground. On the way back, they sometimes drop by the stationery store near the complex entrance. The place is called Apollo. Sia1 loves getting candy there. What? Oh, okay. So wait. Just say that she went out of the playground like she always did and vanished. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but try to think about it carefully. Okay, let's do this. If you can remember someone you didn't usually see at the playground, I heard you were all together there. Sia1, your mother, and you two, Miang Ho. Yeah, we were all together. Think back to the testimonies about the playground. Who do you think those people were? People? These testimonies were all from one person. Weren't they? Ma'am, life is a bit like a jigsaw puzzle, isn't it? Jigsaw puzzle master. Change speaker. Change order. Ooh. Your memories are scrambled and misaligned. Oh my god. But each fragment, each moment connects with another. Look at the connections closely and you'll figure out where the pieces belong. Who said these things and in what order? And then what? Huh? What does that change? Who knows? Maybe if you connect enough pieces, you might discover a key. A key that unlocks the face of the person putting the puzzle back together. So she goes to kindergarten on weekdays and we go to the playground on week. Okay. Can you tell me anything about Sia1's life at kindergarten? Kidno garden, don't eat the kids, Kidno. I've already explained everything to the other officer on the phone, Detective. Is she still missing? How could someone take her away in broad daylight in the middle of a condo complex? I heard her mother and hashtag brother were with her. They didn't see anything. I don't know if this will help, but, well, you asked me to tell you anything, so I guess I will. Sia1 is always optimistic and cheerful. She started at Eden last year. I was surprised that she never shied away from any of us teachers. At first, I just took her for a friendly child. Then I realized that her brother came to pick her up instead of her mother, but she never asked where her mother was. No, not that that's a problem. Not at all. But, well, how should I put this? I suppose I have never seen her cry. Or get angry or even frown. So I always feel like I want to keep a closer eye on her, make sure she's okay. She's going to need a lot of attention and guidance. She's so cheerful and bright, but in a strangely fragile way. Does that make sense? Right. What was that? Why didn't you report any of this to the authorities? Crying. I have to open the lock to connect it. Uh-huh. About the teacher's testimony. I'm so grateful to her. I had no idea that she was keeping such a close eye on Sia1. It's something Sia1 always says to me. That is? Mommy is the saddest person in the world. She never says that when her father's around, of course, but I think I understand what she means now. Sia1 genuinely thinks that way. She couldn't handle it otherwise. That's why she refuses to cry. Because then that makes her the saddest person instead of her mom. She couldn't handle it if she were the saddest person in the world, getting pity from everyone. That's probably how she sees it all. She's still so young. Children who are forced to grow up fast... Children who are forced to grow up fast end up with a better control of their emotions. And that breaks my heart. Trying time. Well, I guess this is time. How do you remember the time so precisely? My phone's call history. I never leave the children alone when we are out together, but then I got a phone call. I don't usually get calls in the afternoon. I think I panicked. The first thing that came to mind was that I had to pick up somewhere quiet so I could hear. So I ducked into the condo hallway. The call history is 5 minutes long, but she disappeared in less than that. I know because I looked up partway through the conversation and she was already gone. I see her whenever I wandered off alone before. Is it that really possible? Detective, I think it might be my fault she's gone. I was in a hospital for a long time after I had CR1. I couldn't care for her because I was bedridden. But since we both spent so much time looking at the hospital ceiling, I thought I might be able to understand her better. Now though, I'm not so sure. Do you think she resents me? Is that why she won't call me mom? Is that why she always had to... Why she's always so hard to find? I have to scour all the playgrounds to find her. Missing hospital? Is there a special meaning to see one's name? The art is pretty nice, I like this. Tier1 was born at 23 weeks. She weighed less than 700 grams. Her mother had just come out of the C-section and was about to be transferred to the ICU with the baby, but the nurse called for me. It was only a few seconds, but she let me see Tier1. Tier1 reminded me of a Thumbelina, a fragile, precious little princess nestled in a bright red flower. It was so light I could barely feel her in my arms. I was scared she might float away if I so much as breathed in her direction. The nurse told me to have a look, but I didn't know how. I could barely see through my tears. I couldn't even get a proper look at my precious baby girl. And then, the first thing I did after that confusing meeting, I registered her birth. I sprinted straight from the hospital to the City Hall registration desk. I didn't stop to catch my breath. Then I wrote down her name, CO1. That's CO for rhinoceros and 1 for origin. It's an unusual name, I know. At the time, I was thinking of the old saying about marching forward like the lone horn of the rhino. I thought of that strength. I put all my weight into each stroke of the pen, every last one. Hoping that the fragile piece of paper might help her somehow. That it might help root her to life, like our powerful anchor that kept her moored to us. Okay. We got name? There's still like more stuff, right? also something here and something there. I've already found the fragments containing the clues. Search for the answers now. Wait, what? Do you really think Mr. Kim Gang-seok is the culprit? See? Now you remember. Someone turned himself in. But you're still suspicious of Seo-won's mother. Are you misremembering something? No, that's not it. My memories are hazy and out of order, but those were the exact conversations. Seo-won's father clearly said, keep her completely out of her mother's reach. That's why he wanted to keep the case unsolved, and there was more testimony. Alright then, let's start by looking for reasons to suspect Seo-won's mother. Your doubts about her will unveil more of your clouded memories, because it's absolutely true that Seo-won's mother is the reason the girl went missing. Okay, so wait. Okay, so we have to figure out now. Oh my god, I don't think I'm ready for this. This one, right? When there's the music room... Tristram? Oh god, no, 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 oh god. Maybe I'm hearing that too now. Oh wait, I can also go to... Oh my god, oh, I have to look at all of them, because all of the... So I'm guessing it's one each, huh? Yeah, her brother picked her up, right? People completely out of Mother's reach. Wait, what are we doing with this now? I guess we can't continue here? Phone call. Called. Oh, that we can't do. Hello, madam. Senior Inspector Jeon Gyeong from the Hyamhyong police station. You would be Siwon's mother, correct? I'm just here to see Siwon, if that's alright. Oh my gosh, you scared me, detective. I was expecting the delivery man. Could you please knock instead of ringing the doorbell next time? My daughter is taking a nap. She dozed off in front of the TV while I was washing the rice. I just tucked her in. Come inside. Fast asleep, see? Oh, I suppose you can't really tell under the blanket. She must be tired, the poor thing. Siwon and I were out and about all day yesterday. She slept in this morning too. I swear, kids grow up so fast. She's gotten so much taller that barely anything fits anymore. I had to do all her shopping at once. First day of school is only a month away and there's so much to buy. Oh, I hope she wakes up soon so we can eat and get her uniform fitted. I'm sorry, detective. You might have to wait a while before she wakes up. So, what brings you here? That's kinda sus. You seem to know Siwon's family well. Mihengo's family, well, I've seen them since the children were little. Must have been, say, 3 or 4 years now. When they first moved in, I was sure Mihengo was close to finishing elementary school. He's tall for his age and he is very quiet. That one. His mother was picking out supplies for younger kids, so I showed her to the shelves older children might like. She laughed and said, he gets that a lot. Mihengo is mature beyond his years, and I don't mean his looks. It's normal for kids his age to only think of themselves, but he always hanging back and letting his sister spend all his pocket money. Okay. Elementary school? You're telling me? I heard you in 5th grade at elementary school. With your height, I bet the girls won't leave you alone. You are very tall for your age. Is it because you take after your mom? I take after her? I really? Am I really like her? Now we can do this. Do you really think Mr. Kim Gang-seok is the culprit? I don't know. Do you really suspect him, detective? Even if he were in financial trouble, I don't think he would stoop that low. Instead he'd... Detective, I'm not trying to defend Gang-seok. I'm only telling you what I saw. There was a woman skulking around that playground, always hanging back. I thought she was suspicious because I kept running into her when I went around looking for Siwon. She was in her 30s or early 40s, a little on the tall side, maybe around 10 centimeters taller than me. She was always looking at the playground from afar, always behind the wall, behind the flower bed. You wouldn't see her unless you were really looking. But she could probably keep an eye on the kids at the playground if she really craned her neck. I saw her there, standing on her toes, trying to look over the wall. By the way, detective, that was the name. What was the name of that girl Gang-seok confessed to talking? This was my conversation with Siwon's mother, right? Probably. I don't understand. She acts as if she knows the man who turned himself in and asks about her kidnapped daughter as if she is a stranger. It's frightening. Was he having a disassociative episode? Ma'am, do you remember the things that made you stand on your toes? What does that have to do with anything? In my case, I only really stood on my toes for one reason. Affection. Keep my eyes on something or someone that I really cared about. Ma'am, you were on the force for nearly 30 years. This is the only case you left unsolved. Remember how you closed that file and placed it on the cabinet? Were you standing on your toes? Oh, the music is picking up now. Ooh. Oh, 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 oh. I start to understand how this game works. There's nothing here anymore. That mean... Oh, that's a phone call. Uh-huh. They're all connected to phone call. City Hall, you said. That's right, Chief. How are you? I'm from the Hyamhyong City Hall Administrative Office. It's that time of year. 4 kids slated to start school this year in your district didn't show up to pre-entrance day. I'm just calling for your cooperation. We spoke with all the families over the phone. They all said they were on vacations overseas or busy with other things. That sort of thing. I mean, elementary school classes haven't even started yet, so I'm going to report that everything looks fine. But we do have time, but we do have to make sure the paperwork is all there. We are working with the police assistance request forms right now. They'll say that local police stations dispatched personnel to all the absentees households for welfare checkups at the school board's request. Imagine that, Chief. It's like a free bonus, and our compensation for external personnel requisition is pretty solid if you ask me. Once you get the form, send us your personal roster with the direct deposit information attached, and we will take care of things on this end. Ay, ay, ay. How does Miyango feel? Must have been a big change for him. Your station searched the park in the neighborhood, right, Detective? The one with the pond. The weeping willow trees by the water. They are lonely to look at. I took a stroll there last year with Mihango and Hyejong. The trees reminded me of Mihango. He looks like he is at the mercy of the world sometimes, but the truth is he is the most unyielding boy you'll meet. Or children and adults too, I suppose. A death in the family is apparently like experiencing your universe collapse. Rebuilding from the ruins was a time-consuming journey, but I think Miyango has managed quite well on his own. I don't know if you noticed, but there's something he always carries around, never leaves home without it. Death? Okay, that we can't do. Okay. Well, I see your mother has contacted you. It's exactly as you heard. Will you be coming to the police station together? That man was never one for prayer. No matter how deep you dug, he said the spade would never know the smell of the earth. He refused to pray even once, as our baby lay sick in the hospital. That's why he doesn't understand that prayer is the reason we have been so blessed. All he ever did was get angry that he couldn't change anything with his own abilities. He said he turned himself in? If he really did take her, maybe it was because he couldn't afford child support payments. He's been complaining since last summer about how he was having a hard time keeping up with the payment schedule. I told him that this was a critical time in Seowon's life, that he had to get his act together. We may be divorced, but he is still her father, even now. I suppose he's still trying to change things himself, even without even trying to pray. Talking about the mother again? Devil pinned that one. We contacted the father, maybe. I keep calling him, but he won't pick up. It's not out of the ordinary, we only meet for her birthdays. But this is an emergency. His own daughter is missing. Detective, I was texting him on that day you came from the police station. Seowon's always such a quiet girl, but she was chattering about how much happier she would be if her father was here too. So I asked him if he would come by and say hello. But he's heartless, that man. Okay... Recently, somebody just spoke on the phone with the City Hall employee and told them that Seowon couldn't attain... You live with your daughter. The pre-entrance day, What was it my daughter said now? A slight cold? I think, yes. Ah, I remember now. I knew it was pre-entrance day, so I asked my daughter later how it went. I don't live with her, of course, but I'm in the area and drop in from time to time. I don't want to leave her alone for too long, spending all her time wallowing in misery. I do remember that I was visiting a few days ago when that City Hall employee called. He asked me the same thing you did, Detective. So I think I said that she was doing well, that I was taking perfect care of my granddaughter. Which is one missed pre-entrance a day at school. What are you interrogating me for? Already found the fragments. Oh. So the key reason is the English teacher needed funds. Didn't he talk about that here somewhere? Ah yeah, here. So wait, now there's like stuff open or what? Oh, we got a new dude. Oh my god. Okay, so I can click on those names and get more. And then we get more information about that. Tell me how that happened when you last saw CM1. He always used to buy CM1 candy from the stationery store on the way home, but we didn't buy her candy recently because Auntie doesn't come out with us anymore. I thought CM wanted to stay where she was and went to the stationery store. I ran right over. The stationery store is just up the steps over the fence. It's really quick, I swear. I was only there for a bit and I ran back, but she wasn't there. I called her name, like Seowon. She didn't come. Only Auntie did. I started crying and Auntie said I shouldn't tell anyone she was with us. She told me not to say anything at all. Just like that monkey we saw at the temple. Was your son still there? I was under the impression that both children were at the playground. Yango said he was with Seowan all the time, but that he had no idea where she had gone. I scolded him. You're not making any sense. I was so desperate that I was too harsh with him. Even though it's my fault Seowan disappeared, I failed them both. Please don't ask Mihango for information. we've received testimony. Let's go this one. We've received testimony that CR1 is a regular at your stationery store. Did anyone from her family drop in today? Or CR1 herself on her own? Today? No, not CR1 and not her brother either. May I ask what the police want with them? You're not the first to come looking for her today. Is this about Myongo's mother? The thing is, Myongo's only been coming with CR1 these days. He used to come with his mother all the time when he was younger, but I haven't seen her in quite a while. Is she doing alright? Claims to be the culprit behind disappearance. Seon's father has surrendered himself to us. No, detective, you can't. Don't believe a word of what he says. I'll be at the station immediately. Everything is fine. But everything he says is a lie. It was me. I made him do it. It's all my fault. I'll be right there, detective. Don't you listen to anything he tells you. It's all my responsibility. A lie? Okay, so the day CR1 died is that code. Her birthday is that code. We can't do anything more with death. Can we do more with time? We can something with time. This one. Where's CR1 now? She's with the family. I made sure she had something to eat for dinner before I dropped her off. Once I brought her to the playground where I first found her, she knew exactly how to get home. I rang the doorbell and stood at the entrance waiting for her parents. It was only a few seconds, but in that short time, I wondered again and again if I should just leave the girl there and run. Detective, I was being stupid. I was stupid to kidnap her, and I'm still being foolish now, having the nerve to feel guilty about it at all. The girl's father, he pulled the girl tight into his arms and wept. I knelt in front of him and to apologize, but he bowed so low. I thought he would fall, and he thanked me. He thanked me for bringing her home safe. What I did was indefensible. I will accept my punishment. I know that won't make up for the suffering I caused the family, but I will live out the rest of my life in sincere contrition. One more playground. You happened to see the boy when you went to the playground. Do you know that playground near the stationery store, Ryan? I saw that boy a few days ago. He went from the playground straight to the store. I remember wondering why CR1 was sticking so close to that boy. Why do you ask a detective? Does the boy have something to do with the case? Yeah, stationery store stuck there. Stay on the line, I'm on my way. Could you tell me what happened? I got a call from my mother, CR1's grandmother. She said I'm at the store outside the condo complex and security called, saying the fire alarm was going off in the house. The security guard went over to my mother's house to check, but he couldn't open the door, so she asked me to go and open it for her. I'd shoot her out. She knew I couldn't bring CR1 somewhere so dangerous. I told her to go herself. She was so stubborn. Mom said she could get to the playground and pick up CR1 faster than she could get home, so I should rush over to her house and make sure everything was fine at her place and that she would be there soon. She said that and made the most sense. She was going to wait for me with CR1 outside the building. I went to Mom's house and the security guard was there. I opened the door for him and the place was filled with smoke. I don't know what was cooking on that stove, but the pot was burnt black. The guard turned off the stove and opened the windows. Well, all I could think of was Seo and how glad I was that I didn't bring her to such a dangerous place and that the fire didn't get any worse. I ran back into the elevator. It was only a few minutes, I swear. I found Mom waiting for me outside the building just like she promised. But when I asked her where Seo was, she said, "I thought you took her with you. Detective, are you here?" Who were you on the phone with on the afternoon of February 3rd? Well, our office isn't exactly well staffed, so I'm the one doing most of the phone duties. Young, on the afternoon of 3rd, employees complain if we check in too often, so we don't usually do that, and there's not too much to call about in the afternoon. Wait a second. I see, I did call, but it wasn't for anything special. There's going to be, what was it now, a Best Caregiver Award ceremony in a few days. So we asked if she could make it. Like, we have more than 100 caregivers working with us, but no one wanted to show. I think that was the gist of the call. I kind of regretted calling her. I mean, she's not the type to do that kind of company spirit event. You have talked to her, right? Can't even have a nice long chat. She's always cutting calls short, something about being too busy with the kids. Has she even come into the office recently? So what's all this about? I mean, as long as she's doing her job right. But the police visit, really? She's not exactly a slacker. What's going on here? Information for her. Caregiver. Another playground here. Does Sarah have a favorite place near the playground, somewhere she might have wandered off on her own? Wandered off? She didn't stroll away somewhere. She's been kidnapped. All possibilities on table? As if. Get off your chairs and do something. We're running out of time here. Mobilize the force. Get those cruisers on the streets, anything. Tick-tock detectives, who knows what they're doing to her? And you're sitting here asking where she's gone on her own? Damn it. Damn it. I'm sorry, detective, I know you're doing everything you can. We need crying divorce or hurt. Signs and promise. Okay, so we got a lot of informations now. Certificate of familiar. So like the SEO one is alright. Yeah, she's with family. Didn't really do anything, did it? What if I told you that there's no need for lying now? Mihonga's testimony that shows his mixed feelings. Something... Okay. Just getting more and more things here, fucking hell. I still have another dead one. Yeah, no, I actually can't do anything with those. That's the only thing with the store. It's Unsolved. Okay, this is all the same. So I guess a caretaker certificate? We apparently have the information about it. I've already found the fragments containing the clues. The day sale one disappeared. The clues on the day... Is that the call? Or was this phone call? If I don't want to talk to him, I don't mind waiting. Mango, could you promise me that once you're ready, you talk to me? Amazing. Hey. For a date. A date. There was something with February here. bet it's that one. I wish it was like a search option. What Miango carries around? Like it was February, right? It's February 3rd. And now we can have a death. Certificate of familiar relations. Choi Dongjion, DOB, September 15, 1972, male, spouse, Seo Van Jun, DOB, December, okay. Child, Choi Myongo. Choi Seo Won. Mother's birthday. Wait, we can do that. So it's 12:25. Oh, wait, this is a... Wait, no, it's a... Wait a second. If I do 12:25, that's probably wrong, isn't it? Okay, no, man. caregiver for this? What was Seon when Miss Shin Hye-jeong first came to take care of her? I first met Hye-jeong when Seon was 4. That was a few years ago. When my wife died of illness, I was despondent. Didn't know how I would raise the kids. But Hye-jeong was there to support us. They're called caregivers instead of nannies these days, aren't they? Hye-jeong is my children's caregiver. She's been coming in to look after the kids ever since my wife was hospitalized. She befriended them instantly. I don't know how we could have coped without her. Seowon even calls her mom and treats her like one too. I could never thank her enough. But now I'm starting to think I relied on Hye-jeong too much. I mean, she's not exactly family, is she? This? You received a notice from the school board, correct? It says in our files that she didn't attend pre-entrance day. I'm just here to check in and make sure everything's alright. The world's a dangerous place these days. I've been told the city hall personnel have spoken with Seowon's grandmother already, but I just wanted to make sure. Seowon Orion. Of course she is, detective. You must have your hands full checking up on every absence in the district. You'll see once she wakes up, Seowon's healthy as a horse now. She will have no trouble going to school. All that time in the hospital was tough on her, but she's grown up so strong. I'm proud of her. Seowon's been no end of trouble since I was pregnant with her. I think she takes after her father. She was born premature. The doctor scared us every time we went in for a checkup about how one thing could go wrong and then something else, and on and on. I don't remember how many waivers and consent forms I had to sign, but I always knew she would be alright, or those little hands were going to get bigger and stronger one day. No need to worry, I'm taking very good care of her. Seowon's father and I are no longer together, but my mother and I are doing our best to give her everything she needs. And I'll make sure she comes out to the first day of school. Thank you for checking in. I think the rice is ready. Would you like to join us for food, detective? Okay, we can't do another school. Okay, we got a caregiver and a birthday. Birthday. Caregiver certificate of employment. Caregiver Shin Hyung. We hereby certify that the above caregiver has been assigned to the above client since July 1. Is that though Doriana Support Center? Caregiver. Choi Dong-yeon. Hyung location. Silence Playground. Okay, well, I got the 2 silence. What if I told you that there's no need for lying now? What if your lie is the bad kind, the kind that only is going to hurt Auntie and Seowon? Why is not saying anything a lie? If I tell you, if I say what really happened, then Auntie sounds like the bad guy. But she's a good person. It's my fault, not Auntie's. It's all my fault. Okay, wait, do we have, playground? I understand you didn't want to cause Myung any more guilt, but you should have known better. How did you know? I told him he didn't need to say anything. He knows he doesn't have to tell you. It wasn't his fault Seowon is missing, it was your fault, Myango. I should have been watching you, even if you didn't want me close by. That's what I told him. I made sure he knew that I was the one who lost Seowon, not him. Yeah, so this is that silence. Silence is a heavy burden for a 5th grader, but Myung refused to give in. Oh, 206. So I investigated everyone I could, residents, passerby, local business, everyone. There's a little indent in the wall behind the flower beds. You can see the playground from there, but not the other way around, at least for the children playing here, or playing there. That's where you were hiding, wasn't it? To watch over them from afar. When I went to the playground, I would hear the other mothers gossip about me and the children. Mihengo would have heard it all, would heard it too. I understand why people would get the wrong idea. Seowon calls me mommy, so it didn't hurt if Mihengo hated me. I could only imagine how he felt whenever his sister called me that. A few weeks ago, Mihengo told me to stay away from him, so I just wandered around for what seemed like forever and found that spot. Mihengo, I know he must hate the fact that I exist, but I may not be his mother, but still, I promised Wong Yong that I would take care of them both. And now look what's happened. I only looked away for a second. I only took a second to rest because I'd been standing on my toes for the whole time. Okay, we got a lot of new stuff. When did Sion's mother leave you? We've been divorced for about 5 or 6 years. I'm a monster, aren't I? Abandoning my wife when she needed me the most. But at the time I thought it was all for the best. That we'd reached our limit. That we'd only hurt each other if we kept on living like this. That's what I told myself. When our eyes met, I would face the emptiness inside, and it was excruciating because I knew that void could never be filled. If only we could have cried it out together and kept each other going. But we struggled to help each other. We were making no progress at all. And one day we realized that it hurt more to deal with our pain together than alone. So we chose to go our separate ways. That was our decision, to run from our wounds instead of confronting them. To let the blade drop on the guillotine. Ooh. Alright, explain to me how you took C1. I was a junior high school English teacher all my career, ever since I finished teachers college and military service. But after the divorce, I quit my job at the school and started tutoring and doing cram school gigs. And well, my income isn't particularly stable. I needed the money. I'm sorry. I went to the playground intending to kidnap any child who seemed to be alone. I was there for more than 30 minutes and saw a little girl playing by herself for a long time, so I lied to her. But once I brought her with me, I got scared and I didn't know how I would even ask her parents for a ransom. That's how it was. I was afraid of decided to stop, nothing more. Uh-huh. Just like all the other stuff. Wait, we received a testimony that contracted you claim. Prove that the shopkeeper is lying. Where's that shopkeeper? Oh boy. Dude, this game really needs a search function. There's so much text. stationary. This one. Okay, we need another lie. Take this one here. You received testimony that directly contradicts your claims. You're back, which means you're still searching, I take it. I tried to think of anyone suspicious I might have seen in that area, but nothing. But the truth is, well, yes, Miyango was here. I'm sorry for lying to you, I didn't think it was important. Well, you see, I didn't want you to think badly of Miyango. He's a good boy at heart. I'm very sorry, I truly am. I should have told you up front. What time did he come to the store again? A little after 3:30, I believe. Well, nothing was out of the ordinary. He looked like he was in a rush, and when I asked, he only said he had to go back quick. He went straight to the usual candy shelf and picked out a bag, so I assumed it was for Seowon. It's a favorite brand, you know, the pink candy that's so big your cheeks puff up like a squirrel. I told you before, Miyango is very mature for his years, but that day I saw him squatting in front of the greeting card shelf for a long time with the candy still in hand. Eventually he came up to the counter and paid for the candy, but he couldn't look me in the eyes. I thought it was strange, so I went to check the shelf and well, one of the cards was gone. I was disappointed in the boy, of course, made up my mind to give him a stern talking to, but at the same time, well, I felt sorry for him. I can only imagine what went through his mind when he was squatting there in front of that shelf. Please don't lie to me. We need to like figure out this one. Well, what he stole. Wouldn't that just be like the... Yeah, one of the counts. Another lie and we need a death. Death. Please don't lie to me, Miyango. Didn't you say that Auntie was telling the truth? Auntie told me that lying is not about what's good, but what's necessary. She said lying wasn't always a bad thing. It's the bad lies that are really bad. Mom said she would watch over me from heaven. She said she would watch over us, even after she died, but... that was a lie, right? There's no such a thing as heaven. But Seowon didn't know that. She's so stupid. Mom was lying, but does it mean that Mom was a bad person? It's a dead end here. What did you carry around? Oh, we need to find a picture. Nope. It's not him, no. We have time, hospital, school. We have a lot. We also have a surrender and hurt. Is Sewan Orion. She says she had a great time at Auntie's house, and that when she said she missed me, she was brought straight back home. I'm sorry I didn't contact you sooner. I knew you were out there searching, but I was too caught up in the moment. I didn't ask any questions. All I knew was that my daughter was gone for 3 days, but now she's back. And I know this sounds strange, but all I could say was thank you over and over again. I could bow 100 times over and that wouldn't be enough. Sewan's back completely unharmed, and that's good enough for me. Detective, Sewan is... well, she's been hurt in the past, and I can only blame myself for adding yet another wound to her young heart. Tell me, did that man surrender to the police? We have a wound here. Hospital... Well? Right, that one thing is the start of my alarm. I could jump 3 The umbrella, you mean? That's right. Whether he's going to school or some outing, he's always got an umbrella in hand. It's been that way since my wife passed. There was something she always told the kids when she was in the hospital. She promised that she would go ahead to heaven and watch over them from above. Miyango didn't say anything. All he did was sit in the distance and sigh, as I recall. I think he wanted to tell her there was no such thing as heaven, that if she wanted to watch over him, she should do it from Earth. It wasn't long before she passed. I only noticed after some time that Miyango always took an umbrella with him when he left the house, and then I remembered the exact promise his mother made. I mean it, Miyango. How about this then? Since I won't be able to pick you up from school on rainy days, I'll ask God to stop the rain if you ever forget your umbrella. Okay, we got another time. Divorce and phone call. We have a phone call here. When was the last time you saw someone's father? Did you call him often? What's that man got to do with Sewan's going missing? We cut off all contact years ago. The nerve of him walking out of what happened to the girl. Detective... what I mean is... Sewan was always sickly, but that man divorced my daughter, even leaving her to care for the poor baby alone. But well, he's not the sort of man who would take her away from under her mother's nose. Yes, it's really nothing serious, detective. Really. Alright, when did you turn yourself in? Did they say one dying? CO1 would be 0108. No. A lot of the stuff that I have unlocks that, okay. What am I missing here? There's nothing I can do here anymore. sense. Yeah. I want to break anything here with this. Why did you turn yourself in, Mr. Kim Ganseok? Even the victim's family has reported you. This isn't about taking the fall for Miss Song Min-young, is it? I heard the reported Seo-won missing when Min-young's mother told me I was worried for Min-young. But at the same time, I was a little glad after we got divorced. She was in therapy for a long time. We should have gotten help back when she began to think Seo-won was alive but missing. Now, as soon as Seo-won passed away, Min-young was finally discharged from the hospital on Seo-won's birthday. We went to visit her grave together, and and as she ran her hand over the grave, her eyes were empty. There was no hope. Min-young is still chained to that day, circling around and round that moment forever. I started to think that she had given it completely up. She was utterly spent. There was no drive left in her eyes. I began to doubt she would ever recover. I think that's why I was relieved to hear that she set out to find Seo-won, because now she at least had something to live for, something that would sustain her and keep her alive. Maybe even she knew that too deep down. Maybe that was why she reported Seo-won missing. Maybe she thought Seo-won was better missing and alive than dead. And that missing person's report would anchor her to this world, just like I hoped her with her birth certificate. She was grasping for a lifeline, just like me. I know this sounds ridiculous, but this is the whole reason I'm here, detective. I want to make a request. Could you please mark this missing person case unsolved, please? Please let Seo-won live. Let her live forever somewhere far, far away. Even though, like, I don't get any new clues, though. I need to order the fragments correctly. That's how I get those. Ay. What, Tavi, huh? It's not my fault it is your sound. Depremi. Can you sleep now? What is the only text? It's a game where you have to read, you know? There's a lot of text. I wish there was a search function, to be honest. Like, just for like keywords or something. Let's just try, it doesn't work. Why didn't you report any of this to the authorities? She was with us exactly 108 days. That's the time CO1 lived and breathed with us. If only I could have held her at least once, kissed those little cheeks. Or at least if only I'd been able to hear her cry, then maybe I would have been able to accept it. CO1's mother still had milk for a baby who was gone. The crib was still warm and it never seemed to get colder. So how could I possibly file that report? Looking back, it was her name. Her name was the problem. It's my fault for coming up with that name. I can't tell you how much I regret it. Instead of giving her strength, that name marched forward all alone, like the rhino's horn, straight past us, like a gust of wind. She slipped through our fingers, attached to nothing in the world at all. For her birthday, we put a DOB though. Number of absence for list of names, DOB, CEO Hyun, Kim Byum, Kim Seon there. It's 0403. Kidnapping. We have a playground here. One was taken because she was mistaken for Miss Song, Min Young's late daughter. I asked Min Young what happened. She said she heard someone call Seowon's name and finally found her. After going from one playground to the next, it was a boy, probably the girl's brother. He was telling her to wait. Wait right here, Seowon. She didn't tell me anything else, but I can guess what happened. Min Young must have gone and brought her back, like a mother picking up a child who had gone out to play. The girl was so sweet too, calling my daughter Auntie. I'm sorry, detective, I really am. I should have called right away, but then I couldn't bear bear to do it. Not until you paid that visit. After you dropped by and I was terrified. My hands were shaking and I found myself dialing a number, calling Se-won's father. I told him that Min Young seemed to have brought home a stranger's child and pleaded with him to get the girl back to her parents. I would cause a diversion, I said, so he could get the girl away from Min Young. I know she may not be well, but I didn't want my daughter to end up a kidnapper. I was being shameless, I know. I knew exactly that what I was doing, detective, but until Se-won's father turned himself in, even though he's done nothing wrong, I thought he could act as if nothing at all had happened, sweep it all under the rug, knowing full well that Se-won's father is just a precarious child, a precious child to his parents as Min Young is to me. Kidnapper. You're not being contrite, you're lying to me. Okay. What did Miss Song Min Young set out to find Se-won? It must have been when she got the notice saying Se-won was due to start elementary school. It pushed her completely over the edge. We got the notice from City Hall last December. I checked most of Min Young's mail before she does. Detective, we have no idea what might set her off. But this notice about Se-won starting school, my heart nearly stopped. I had no idea that they'd never reported her death. There it was on a document. Se-won's name printed clear. I could only imagine how it would make Min Young feel. No, I'm sorry, detective. I'm not the victim here. I don't deserve to wallow in pity like this. I can only apologize. At the time, I balked. I was frozen and Min Young saw me and read the notice. She looked so happy. She smiled so brightly. I hadn't seen her so delighted in, well, it must have been years. At the pre-entrance day, it was at the end of December, and Min Young insisted we had to go out and get Se-won's uniform fitted. He was fussing about getting all her shots and picking up school supplies, and wondering why Se-won was taking so long to come home. That's when it started, I think. He went around all the local playgrounds looking for Se-won. Okay, into this now. You're not being contrite, you're lying to me. Who was around when Seowon was taken? What was she wearing and which direction did you take her? You couldn't answer any of these questions, Mr. Kim Gan-seok. This confession that you are the kidnapper, it could take Miss Song Min-young's chance to repent and seek forgiveness for herself. We can't wait for her to recover before setting things right. You know she'll be racked by guilt. Could you live with that on your shoulders? Your ex-mother-in-law is in the next room. She's told us everything. Consider how she might feel having just reported her own daughter to protect you. You've been financially supporting her ex-wife's therapy all these years under the pretense of child support. This won't be much different. Just take a step back and support her from afar. She has a long battle ahead of her, being treated in custody. Detective, where did it all go wrong? Did I mess up from the beginning? Seowon's name. I never should have given her that name. Oh my god, this game is so difficult to play, man. Oh, it's so difficult. your fault, Miengo. Nobody in your family is responsible for this. But I told Auntie not to come to the playground. I told her to stay away. I said I could take CO1 without her. It is my fault. I'm the one who made Auntie go away. It's just, if we're all at the playground together, we would look like a family, and Mom would see CO1 call Auntie Mom. I know Mom was not really watching us from heaven. I know she was lying, but I didn't want her to be sad. It's not Auntie's fault. I'm the one who told her not to come with us. It's interesting how the music actually changes like the further you get to unraveling this. This isn't your fault as much as it isn't Miyango's fault. I almost forgot to congratulate you. Happy birthday, Miss Shin. Today's your birthday, correct? I know this may not be the best time, but I think you should know. I paid a visit to the stationery store Miyango goes for CO1's candy, and I spotted this. Apparently, Miyango picked up CO1's usual candy and the birthday card. The owner said he took a long time trying to decide which to get. I wonder why he did get a birthday card of all things, but now I understand. Thank you. I always thought Miyango hated me. I wasn't trying to take his mother's place, but assumed that's what he thought. How could I be so stupid? I should have known better, knowing how badly he'd been hurt. Detective, what happened to CO1's mother? my god. Jesus Christ. Don't scare me like that. Fucking hell. Ugh. So we take the kindergarten as well. Alright. Great work, man. Now you remember everything. Do you understand why Seowon's case was never solved after all this time? Thank you for telling me that she came home safely and that I didn't doom a little girl to her death. Thank you truly. I remember how surprised I was when I first saw the case. Everyone involved was lying for one reason or another, whether it was to protect a loved one or to keep a promise to someone important. And what about you, Your Honor? Are you keeping a secret for someone just like them? Actually, yes, for your sake. But oh, there's a ooh. A secret I've been keeping for your sake. It's been 12 years now. 12 years since the case, and since I retired from the missing persons team. 12 long years. What? I was busy for the first 5 years. To be honest, that was not even surprising. That was not even surprising, this is the same person. A lawyer friend asked me to take on a paralegal job. It was hard work getting used to a new position at that age, but I suppose that would only be an excuse. The truth is, I thought I'd resolve things well enough. A decent end for everyone involved. Wait, what do you mean? I put the case out of my mind for so long, but you were still chained helplessly to that lie I told. Each painful day of your life stretched out into years. I'm so sorry I'm late, Miss Song Min-young. I don't understand. Are you trying to deceive me? Your ex-husband couldn't make it today. Wait, but I'm Jong Jong because he's at the rally outside the Human Rights Commission. I'm the one who retired from the force. I'm the one who was racked with guilt. Wait a second. You lived out your sentence years ago. The one who tried to die, Miss Song Min-young. What the fuck? Never mind, they actually got me the game. Song Min-young, each time we revisit these memories, you became someone else. At times you became Seowon searching for her mother. Today you became a detective, despairing at her failure to find the little girl. I'm Song Min-young. We have been having this conversation again and again for months now. Just like you said, these conversations you remembered were real. The only difference is that I was the one who heard those exchanges, not you. The memories you unearthed today are a mix of your personal experiences and your memories of everything I told you. And you pieced together those fragments, determining who said what and where, but you haven't quite found out who was doing the listening. It's time to put the final piece in its place, complete the mirror that will show you who you really are. Min-young, let's get you out of this place. Let me get you to a doctor, somewhere you can get proper treatment. I can help you. Miss Song Min-young, but if you're really me, if you're really John Jong, why go so far when you're not even on the force anymore? That's the same question I once asked Seowon. Let me give you the same answer she gave me. Seowon's case is still marked as open, and no case should remain unsolved. Not gonna lie, this game was not for me. That game was absolutely not for me. I could only finish it because I had a guide in the end, because there I got way too confusing. That got so confusing. I like the pixel art though. Pixel art is nice. The story? Nah. Nah, I couldn't get really into the story either. That's it. I am. It's a nice game though, Sally. It's not for me. It's sadly not for me, but I hope you liked it. Maybe.